Hey everyone, I'm Curtis, and I'm going to be talking about the altitude slider, which is kind of a silly thing I made up to talk about that seesaw effect of focusing on strategy and diving into code and when to do both and how to know that maybe you're spending too much time on one side or the other. But I'm here from Denver, Colorado. I'm a principal engineer at Slack. Ooh, woo for Colorado. There we go. Um, I took this opportunity to bring my whole family with me to view the city, and I thought it would be a great idea to do the last finishing touches on my slides after a day of sightseeing, and that didn't work out too well. But we've had a lot of fun, and I'm excited to talk with you about this today. So, uh, the senior IC's dilemma. Have you ever built something perfectly that no one needed? Any show of hands? Yeah, that happens sometimes. Um, have you ever heard of like a company that built something on what you would call an old tech stack, but everyone needed it somehow? I remember interviewing for a company that was built on Perl and thought, how could this company be successful? And yet they were. Um, or have you been focused on a project you were building and maybe a stakeholder comes and approaches you and says, Curtis, we need this feature and this feature and this feature, and you're eager to code because that's what we as engineers love to do is just, oh yeah, let me code that. But take a step back and think about, is this the right thing to build at this time? These are kind of circumstances where the activity slider or altitude slider will come into play. But before we get into that, I think it's important to take your own like personal assessment on your own proclivities, what things you tend to focus on and gravitate towards most. For me, and I suspect for many other engineers that have started at associate level engineers and have gone up to staff and higher, you probably love systems, coding, architecture, and that's the easy part to stay and focus on. And at times, at least for myself, it's much harder to take a step back, put the keyboard away, and think about strategy. Think about business. I think someone earlier was talking about business time. So focus on what your own natural altitude is and where you're most comfortable, but keep that in mind as you go about your day, your week, about what your company may need from you in later days. So when we talk about these different altitude signals, there are different signs that you may see that are signals to a change in altitude may be coming, much like any coding agent users here. Have you ever used a coding agent and it starts to spiral and go down this rabbit hole and you have to stop it and be like, let me just fix this part to get you unstuck because there's no prompting that's going to get us out of this hole? You kind of need to do that a little bit, at least I need to do that myself when I'm like very focused on coding and on systems, and stop myself and say, okay, what signals am I seeing here? What's the best use of my time to move forward? So one of my personal mantras that I have is a known problem is easier to solve than an unknown one. And I believe someone earlier was talking about deferring that complexity and deferring that decision making to later. And it's easy to, when you're at the strategy level, to focus so much on the design of the system, the design, the edge cases, the stakeholders, designing the most optimal thing that's gonna delight your customers. But sometimes that can be a trap, like analysis paralysis, where you spend too much time on all of these little things and you're not spending enough time actually implementing the thing. And with one particular project I remember, we were migrating from a one team always builds AI stuff in our company to every team can build the AI stuff in our company. And my job was to, let's build like an SDK or a platform at least, so it's easier for other teams to build these different features. And I spent a lot of time talking to different teams, listening to their requirements, figuring out, looking at what had been built before, what was hard to build. And it got to a point where I felt like there was no single solution I could build that would solve all of these stakeholder agreements. And for me, that was like a moment of I'm spending too much time at the strategy layer that instead I need to focus and get building. So I'm going to take my best guesses of what needs to be built and actually build something. Dive into implementation, see where the rough edges are, and that's going to be a better use of my time than sitting in this ivory tower trying to design everything that's going to solve everyone's problems.
If you're enjoying this, then Lead Dev's got loads more to offer and there's tons to explore.
So the reason I love Lead Dev so much is they've got such a range of content on so many different topics in the world of engineering, leadership, and management.
So Lead Dev helped a lot on building my own career, right? And it's great to also see how it's helping the new generation as well.
Make sure to sign up and join us at leaddev.com.
What's it look like when you spend too much time at the strategy altitude? So if your team is like able to build the wrong thing, but really efficiently, that may be a sign that they need some more direction. If unwarranted complexity starts creeping in, there's this acronym called YAGNI. You're not going to need it. If you see those types of things creep in early, that may be a sign that it's time to come out of the strategy stratosphere and down into the implementation layer. Or if your own knowledge in the systems that you're responsible for or the systems that you support, if you're lacking the details to be able to contribute effectively in those domains, it may be a sign that it's time to come down and get your hands dirty. On the low altitude side, say you're working on a feature, and one example was we had a hard time shipping and delivering this feature. And most of the time I noticed was spent setting the test harness, like getting the system in the right position to be able to test what we were building. And in that circumstance, I decided to take a different tack and focus on building a test harness that, with a click of a button, would put the system in the proper state so we could then iterate on the feature we were developing. That was a signal to me that, okay, the team is ready. They're working very, very hard on shipping this feature, but we needed an architectural unlock that made the iteration time quicker. Also, if you want to do like a proof of concept to validate strategy, that could be a good use of like a low altitude signal. And if there's times when there are code smells, a code smell, I call those when I see like code reviews or I'm reviewing code and there's a lot of like copy and paste proliferation, or some of the patterns that are representative in our code base aren't really shining in these different PRs, or the business logic is just sprawling to its tentacles throughout the code base. It could be a sign that it's time to drop down and work on at the lower altitude level to deliver. And just by observing some of these signals and being mindful of them and being mindful of what level you're working at, it almost helps you just calibrate and know that you need to change the altitude level just by observing it and being mindful of it. So we'll go into like a few more rituals that I use to check my altitude from time to time. And these are just examples, but some of them may work for you as well. So sometimes in the mornings, like I'm starting my week off in the morning, and I'm trying to figure out, am I coding because it's comfortable for me, because that's my natural proclivity? Or is there something that I could do here that can be an unlock for the rest of the team? So one example for us, early in our AI journey, we kind of built all of these abstractions based on the state-of-the-art models at the time. And those abstractions broke fundamentally, and it became hard to add even simple features to our tech stack. So I took that as a sign that I should focus on implementing a new way to expose these native features to developers. And that wasn't necessarily tied to an individual project or individual feature, but a cross-cutting concern that would work for the rest of the organization. Also, at the end of the day, or the end of the week, whatever cadence works for you, reflect on whatever your strategy, whatever altitude you were for parts of that day, and see if you flew at the right height that day. Also, there's project rituals. So during a project life cycle, you may choose to focus on, am I focused on the right area here? If it's crunch time, am I using my abilities at the best at these high leverage times? And then finally, recovery techniques. At the end of the week, end of the day, reflect on what levels I flew at. Did my time at these levels help to better my company, better my team, or was I just leaning into what I find easier or natural to do first? So your own flight plan is probably depends a lot on your own proclivities and where you are in the organization. But as Staff Plus engineers, one of our superpowers here is we understand code and systems in a way that the rest of our team, or like a manager or a PM, doesn't necessarily do. And we have the ability to prototype solutions and prototype the path to make things accomplish our business goal. And because of that, with our rituals to force our altitude checks, we can exercise this excellence in intentional altitude setting. So it may not be the perfect altitude at all times, but we can set our altitude appropriate for what our team needs from us at that time. And that's everything I have. Thank you.